peptides are going to become the new normal. They're going to become the new vitamin supplement. They're going to become the new way to stretch out life. Now, through internal sources, the reason why people don't really advertise them or the government doesn't help with these kind of things is because what they do is they keep you healthier for a longer amount of time. That's why they always say with cancer, they always have a band-aid, but they don't have the cure. Same concept when it comes to these peptides. What these peptides are a way to keep you healthier for a longer period of time. Now, right now, we're only talking about one specific one, which is semaglutide, which is to lose weight. As the shows go on, we're going to talk about different ones. I'll probably make a full episode just of different peptides and what they can do, anything that might like help somebody out.
Yeah, because there are many of them.
Welcome to the first episode of the year of the Solutions Podcast. On this episode, we're going to be going over one of the most popular peptides out there, semaglutide. And my guest today is one that's very close to me. Stay tuned, stay motivated, and you're welcome. Okay, so first and foremost, welcome to the show, the first show of the year and first time on.
Thank you for having me today.
So for y'all that don't know, my wonderful wife, partner in crime, have multiple businesses that we've been working on, and the one that has been getting traction is our holistic health coaching that we've been working on. So today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about GLPs.
So GLPs, specifically GLP-1. Okay, so one thing that is happening right now, there's been a big change with the administration. Okay, so the old one left.
Yeah.
President Trump went out. President
President
Biden. Yeah, President Biden went out. President Trump came in, and one of the individuals that he brought was RFK, which is, I don't know his first name, but RFK. He's a Kennedy, right? And this individual, he's very big on health and fitness, and one thing that he promotes is peptides. Peptides, I keep telling people, they're going to be the future of health. They're a bridge between taking basic vitamins and then taking steroids. So it's that middle ground. And the good thing about peptides, what they do is they help you build your natural body's ability to max out on whatever it can do. So for example, a steroid will get you past your natural limits. What these things do is they push you to the furthest that your body can go. Okay. One of the biggest seller is what?
One of them is semaglutide, and there's also terzepatide.
Yes, and with terzepatide, that's the one that you work in your regular full-time job, right?
That's correct.
So GLP-1. First of all, what is a GLP-1? A GLP-1 medication is a medication that helps you become a little bit more insulin resistant, which that helps you feel fuller for a little bit longer, and that helping you lose weight because you're taking in less calories than what you normally do. Some of y'all might have heard the term or the medication Ozempic. That's actually what it is. And what Ozempic is, people think about it as a drug. They call it a weight loss drug. They call it a weight loss medication. But realistically, what it is just a peptide. So that's the one we're going to be talking about today. You did a term with it, right?
Yes, so I did the terminology semaglutide is like, to be exact, what I did. I did the starting dose, which was 0.25. Yes, which is the starting dose. A lot of people are able to stay on it. It does pretty good in suppressing your appetite, which I want to emphasize. These peptides are supposed to suppress your appetite, meaning you don't get hungry throughout the days, and when you do, you're eating very minimal, and it's supposed to be healthy choices. But what gets confusing for a lot of patients or people that are taking the semaglutide and other GLPs is they think the higher I go, the more I lose. Sometimes that is the case, and other people, it affects them different. It's the higher you go, the more sick you might feel, the more side effects you're going to get.
Yeah, so what we do is we give you a protocol that is tailored to you. I like to, if you have no experience with the type of medications, what I like to do is start you at the lowest dose, see how you're reacting, and from there we start escalating up and up and up in a controlled manner in order to prevent you from getting fully sick, because again, what this medication does is making you feel fuller. Anything that messes with with your digestion system, you start feeling a little bit of heartburn, a little bit of nausea, things like that. So if we go ahead and put you at the highest dose or even a mid dose and your body's not ready to take all that, what's going to end up happening, you're going to feel sick, and what that's going to do is going to impede you from actually going on with the process and getting to your ideal goal weight. But people say that Ozempic is cheating, but in your job, you talked about a story that your boss said that actually made a lot of sense to me. If you don't mind sharing that one.
Yes, I not necessarily have dealt with the struggle of losing weight. It might be a little bit of laziness, a lot of bit of laziness. Life goes on. People are always busy. But my boss actually in one of our meetings spoke about, something personal. He mentioned about his good friend didn't know that his company, majority of his friend's company was on the medication terzepatide, and he always ran on the heavier side. And he mentioned how he finally reached out and said, "Hey, I heard that majority of my employees are in terzepatide. I kind of want to get on it." And he put him on it. He was one of our patients. Unfortunately, he did pass away. I'm not sure if at the end of December, but we did speak about it. He went into the terms of, broke it all down. Some people struggle with weight loss just because we struggle with weight loss because, in other words, we're a little bit lazy. But some people, it goes more into depth, more into their cholesterol's high, their blood pressure is really high. Every people dread going to the doctor, and they stress 2 weeks before their appointment because they're going to get weighed because they have high blood pressure to the point that they're not eating those 2 weeks before the appointment. And I never struggled with that. I was explaining to my husband here that I never thought about it like that, that it's so stressful. I just go to another doctor's appointment. It's normal for me. I don't worry about my blood pressure being high. This medication, for many that their insurance doesn't cover it, or in some places Ozempic is through the roof, 1,000 plus just to get it for a month. And for him to say that they're able to, at low cost, be able to provide this medication to patients, they said that pretty much this medication is life-saving methods for many patients, for many people, because we are that lifeline that many of us need, that many people out there need, the lifeline. Many people are pre-diabetic and they will not get their insurance to approve the medication because they're not diabetic at the time. So we are the lifeline. Many people think, and everybody has a freedom of speech and they think it's cheating. Yeah, it might be, but for some people, it might be, the lifeline that they need to continue one more day, one more year, one more birthday party, birthday to celebrate, because many of us don't get that chance again.
Yeah, but so I want to touch on that. I actually posted a video on that. Is that cheating? It's a term, but when is it really used? When you're taking a test, or when you're doing a competition, or when you're doing all that stuff. But when it comes to your life, it's not a game, it's not a test, it's a person's life. So it doesn't matter how you get to the end state, it's that you get to that end state, because ultimately you don't have redos in that type of game. So that's one thing that I do want to stress out, because even the people that I get, they tell me to keep it a secret. So I don't put their business out there. I will never say who is on a medication. One, that's called a HIPAA violation. Two, two is just not, if they don't feel comfortable with it. But the thing is that there's just so many people that are uncomfortable with admitting it, right? But it's like coffee. Nobody says, "Oh, hey, don't tell anybody I'm having a sip of coffee." No, you still. If, as a matter of fact, people advertise that if they don't have their coffee, they're gonna act like all emotional and stuff, or they're gonna be not the best person, or whatever. That's what people do.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, and I'm telling y'all now, y'all can quote me. was it January 25th, 2025? Peptides are going to become the new normal. They're going to become the new vitamin supplement. They're going to become the new way to stretch out life. Now, through internal sources, the reason why people don't really advertise them or the government doesn't help with these kind of things is because what they do is they keep you healthier for a longer amount of time. That's why they always say with cancer, they always have a band-aid, but they don't have the cure. Same concept when it comes to these peptides. What these peptides are a way to keep you healthier for a longer period of time. Now, right now, we're only talking about one specific one, which is semaglutide, which is to lose weight. As the shows go on, we're going to talk about different ones. I'll probably make a full episode just of different peptides and what they can do, anything that might like help somebody out.
Yeah, because there are many of them. It's not just Ozempic, which is Wegovy, another word for Ozempic, and semaglutide. Those fall in the same bracket for that GLP-1.
Yeah.
There's a couple others, and there's a new one rolling in that's pretty interesting that
Yeah.
many athletes or people that up there in their lifestyle are trying to try out.
Yeah, so even bodybuilders are able to do that. So one big knockoff with semaglutide that people say is that they lose a lot of muscle real quick, and the reason is because they're not eating as much, and probably they're when you start lacking eating, you start lacking in your vitamins and minerals, then you start to feel a little bit more tired, then you're not going to the gym, and you're also not consuming the calories it takes to maintain muscle. So this new one that is rolling out, it's called retatrutide. That one helps you maintain muscle while you're on this type of medication. So it's a very interesting one, and that's one that we are testing out. I am cautious to put it out yet, and that's just because they're still going through a lot of the clinical trials. And by clinical trials, that means that I'm still getting feedback on how people are reacting to it. So far, it's been really good, and I do believe that when that rolls out full force, is going to replace Ozempic, replace terzepatide, replace semaglutide, because that one is just, it's one of those things that's too good to be true. And when something seems too good to be true, it normally is. But we will see. There's no long-term trials yet, so it's hard to test it, right? But just the other day, I think I put in one of the pages to do some questions. So I want to see if we can get some of the questions that we had on it.
Oh, yes, we did a poll, Instagram coming strong
Yeah.
with the downfall of TikTok. Hopefully it's back. My husband did do a poll. If you guys saw it on the solutions pages and the wellness page, we got some questions in, and might be some questions that you have that you haven't asked us, but we're here to help. So
let's get into some of the questions, and while you're pulling them up, let me actually pull up the page because sometimes even I forget the name. So if y'all want to follow it, it's on Instagram. It's where are we at? Where are we at? It's literally coaching underscore solutions. That's how you'll be able to find the page. And one thing that we do focus that on is holistic health. A lot of people don't even know what that means. Holistic health means mind, body, and soul. So if you're struggling with just even mental health, we're able to help with that. Need a little bit of counseling, even marriage counseling, or you're struggling to find a good fitness plan or a good diet plan. You don't even have to go full on medications. We can help you with that. Just reach out. Again, that is coaching underscore solutions. And that's on Instagram. On YouTube, that's the one that we're going to start hitting real hard. Is going to be Coaching Solutions 101, and that's how you can find it. But let's get into the questions.
So we had a lot of questions, but we just picked a few, or else we could be here all day. The first one that many of you guys had, and to be honest, I had when I first started, before I first started, it says, can you drink while you're on the medication?
So I'm hesitant to say it, right? The answer is yes, but should you? No. Okay? Because when you're on this medication, you're already consuming less than what you can. So anything that you take is going to make you feel full longer. So if the only thing that you drink is some wine or a beer or a shot or whatever, that's the only thing you consume because you're already full. That's the only nutrients that you're getting. So that's why I always tell people not to. What should you do instead is to prioritize your protein. So the losing of muscle happens from lack of protein and lack of calories. So one thing to do, instead of having alcohol, focus your meals and make them very heavy protein based. The goal is always 1 gram of protein per body weight that you're trying to meet, not where you're at right now. Is the goal that you're trying to meet. Because if you're on this medication, you're trying to lose weight. So if let's say you weigh 200 pounds, but your goal weight is 140, you should be intaking 140 grams of protein. So
One thing that I do want to emphasize is if you so do choose to drink against our advice, and many people that are on the medications advice is, I don't know if you guys ever heard, hey, I don't want to drink on an empty stomach because I'm gonna feel it more. Well, your stomach is empty. You have probably not drank one drop of water. When you drink what's 1 glass of wine, it's like you feel like you drank 3 bottles of wine. Like the way the alcohol goes through your system is no joke. You feel like if you already feel on the medication without drinking, like you're pregnant without being pregnant, for those females that have had kids before, that's what you feel. Some people don't get side effects, but being on the medication is, and you drinking is like you are having a hangover the minute you finish that 1 cup without even having a hangover.
yeah. So I can't speak on that because I've never taken it. So, but like I believe it, and that is in line with what a lot of our patients do say is that. So yes, you can. Should you? No. What's the next one?
The next one is, are you able to use it while you are pregnant? It's
No.
no,
No, no,
no.
no, 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 no. Why and why is that? It's the same concept, right? It makes you feel fuller for longer. When you're pregnant, you're not just eating for yourself, you're eating for the creation that you're trying to make. So that is why that is a hard no. If you answer that you are pregnant in the intake sheet, I'm sorry, we will decline you. But after the baby is done and after you're breastfeeding, then you feel free to reach out to us and we'll
Yes,
help you out. Lose
yes.
that baby weight.
And it's good that he mentioned after you're done breastfeeding. Yes, because even though there's some research in, not enough, is there is a amount of percentage that will transfer to your baby, and what you want is to give nutrients to your baby, and as it's passing through the same way, you can't drink while you're breastfeeding because part of it goes into your baby. It's the same thing with the medication, so it's a hard no.
Okay. So if you could do me a favor though, yes, try to get talked a little bit closer to the mic in the direction of it so I can pick it up. Okay. It's our first time. Don't
I'm
judge
new.
it. And you're still talking to it. Talk to the mic.
I'm new here.
Okay. Now before we get to the next question, let's do a real life case study. So you were on it for how long and how much did you lose the first go around?
So I started in August, I believe.
Okay.
I started in August. I think it was August 2nd. I started at you could say 160 already by then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 59 point something is technically 160. So I started at 160 and I went from August all the way until October. October is when I took a break. So that's August, September. So 2 months. So in that 2 month span, I went from 160 all the way to was it? I think 141 because I had weigh in for PHA.
Okay. So basically in 8 weeks lost 19 pounds.
Yes.
And even then after you took a break, you still managed to get past that plateau and now you're even under that weight without even taking the medication, which one thing that I encourage people to do is when they even if they only do one cycle of it, one go around with us, because I don't like to just keep customers to keep customers. I can tell you every single thing to ensure that you keep coming back, but why would I do that? The goal is for you to be healthy. So one thing that you can do while you're on this medication is start building those healthy habits. Understand how little food you actually need in order to maintain, in order to keep on going. So that's one thing that's very important. And I think that's something that you've been doing very well, and that's how you're able to either maintain and keep losing weight without even having to take the medication. So kudos.
Yes, thank you. So I took a break all of October. Many patients stay on it as a maintenance dose and continue. It's not bad. It's just for me, I just needed a kick myself back in the ass to where I needed to be, obviously for the military. But I took that break because at first I wanted to try and see how I did. And then back to the muscle loss. What I once was able to lift, it went from a complete 360. I could no longer even lift off the ground.
Yeah. And that's to say pros and cons to it. Pros and cons to it. So what I like to do is keep people 8 weeks on, give them at least 2 weeks off so your body can readjust, and then go back 8 weeks on and continue that cycle until you meet your goal weight. Now, does that work for everybody? No, but that does work for most. And again, because everybody gets a custom protocol, you will get you will get results regardless of which way you go about it. So what's next? What we got?
So the next one is it safe to use and what is the recommended dosage?
Is it safe to use?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like we wouldn't be giving it to people. We wouldn't be offering it to people if it wasn't safe to use. It is again the what's it called? The brand name is Ozempic. That is the brand name for it. That is where you see it. People use it for diabetes. What semaglutide is just the loss weight the weight loss part of that medication. So yes, it is safe to use. And what's the following question?
And what is the recommended dosage?
So the recommended dosage that we start everybody in is in 0.25 milligrams, or for lack of better terms, is 250 micrograms. That's where we start people. Do other companies start people at a higher dose? Yeah, but those are the ones that end up not coming back because they feel so horrible. So that's where I start them at. Do a gauge in a couple of weeks, and then we re-engage that individual. Now there is people, and you're a great example, that just stayed on that minimal dose for the whole time and was able to reach the ideal weight that you're trying to reach. So
Yes, and with that, many people think I'm adjusted. I feel no symptoms at the minimum dose. I'm gonna up my dose because I want to lose more weight, and it's not always the case.
yeah.
I try to go up. My job actually provides terzepatide, and I said I'm at the starting dose. I'm gonna try
Mhm.
the 50 units.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. It was not ideal for me.
Yeah, and then one thing too, if you get on this medication, lack of negative symptoms does not mean lack of the medication working. People say, "Oh, well, I don't feel like nauseous. I don't feel heartburn. I don't feel anything." That's good. That means you're at the right dose. But what you still will do is feel fuller every single time that you're consuming food. So as that's one thing to understand. Lack of negative side effects does not equal lack of medication working. Okay, what we got?
That's correct. So our next question is, can you use it while you are pre-diabetic?
Go ahead. I'll let you answer that one.
So the answer is pre-diabetic, yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not able to get it through your insurance, majority of them get denied. I mean, it goes case by case, depending on insurance policies. They should approve it, but majority of the people get denied. It is safe to use it, but at that point, you're kind of teetering in between.
Yeah.
I'm almost at the diabetic stage, and at that point, your PCM should be taking care of you. You know, there's some concerning questions there, but a lot of people who are pre-diabetic, they do get approved, and it helps them. It goes from I'm pre-diabetic, so I'm no longer a pre-diabetic, and the lesser it goes down, you're eating less fatty food. Obviously, we're in United States, you know.
California gets the best food in the
Yeah,
United States,
yeah,
hands down. At least Hispanic food, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
So yeah, so pre-diabetic, yes. If you're diabetic, no.
yes.
Okay. The reason why is because at that point that is a medical condition, and we're not here to try to treat a medical condition. We're trying to prevent any medical conditions from happening. So pre-diabetic, yes. Diabetic, no. Next question.
Yes. So the next question is, okay, Ramsey touched base on it and it says, can you use it while you're a diabetic? And the answer again is no. I believe that you need
Yeah.
more supervision. You know, there's a lot of things that go into it, more instructions that need to be followed, checkups, daily blood intake, and it's just that should go through your PCM. You know, they're already dealing with your condition. and they're able to see your track record, your historical record, and where you should go from there.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's important. So if you're diabetic, unfortunately, I won't help you out. I can give you guidance in order to get you to a better place, but that's when your doctor and your insurance should be taking care of it. Now, I will say a lot of people reach out to their doctors to see if they'll get them on these medications. One thing that is a trend is that the doctors are approving the medication, but the insurances are denying the medication.
Yeah.
So a lot of people we're in business, we're doing good, and they say, "Hey, I'm gonna stop everything because my insurance got me." And then like 2, 3 weeks later, they hit me back up saying, "Hey, can I get back on because the insurance didn't cover it?" So those are things to be cautious with. Okay, so if your doctor says yes, awesome. Hopefully your insurance covers it. But if they do not, please reach out to us and we'll take care of you.
Yes. And the next one is, are there any side effects while on the medication?
So we discussed that. We discussed that, right? There's a little bit of heartburn. Some people feel heartburn. Some people feel a little bit of nausea, especially the day of injection. They tend to feel a little bit nauseous. So I always recommend all the patients doing it right before going to sleep on the same day each week, which I think that touches to the next question, right?
Yes, but I want to emphasize something. Just because there's side effects does not mean you're gonna feel any. There's many people that feel nothing at all, some that feel it all. One thing I want to emphasize, there's headaches. You get the nausea, like you feel like you're gonna turn up food that you have not ate. You also feel that you got hit by a car sometimes, and the higher doses, super higher doses. Talking about personal reasons.
Just stop. You're gonna scare people, okay? Just stop. No, no, no. But it's true. So I don't know what is it about that, but it does cause body aches if you go to a higher dose very quick. So that's the reason why we try to move you up slowly, so that does not happen. Again, I unfortunately I don't know the reason behind that, but that's what we do. We move you up slowly so your body has that medication in the system and is used to it, so it doesn't just impact it so quickly. Again, though, what this is going to do is push your body to the max of its natural abilities. So you might have something in you that might be not right, but it's getting pushed. So that's the reason why those things tend to happen. So yeah.
And there's two more side effects. People don't want to talk about it, but we're the Solutions Podcast, so we're here to help. Some people, you're not intaking the water that you need to intake and the fiber that you need to intake because you're not eating.
Yeah.
So some patients experience constipation.
Yep.
Yeah, so hey, a little bit that Miralax into your juice, orange juice or whatever in the mornings.
Or fiber.
Yeah, or fiber.
Just start with fiber first.
If you're able to do it on the daily, your bowel movement would be like normal. Not everybody experiences it, but some people do.
Yeah.
I know for myself, what started happening is hair loss. And that is the reason why the faster you lose weight, it's not natural for the body. So one thing that stops it is taking vitamins. I take prenatals and I don't lose hair.
Yeah, like anything else, like any medication, your body works how it's supposed to work. If it works too fast, there's a problem. That's a big problem that people have in the bodybuilding community when they're taking steroids. Their strength is getting up faster than what their body can handle, and that ends up leading to injuries. It's the same concept with cutting your calorie intake too fast, too much, too quickly. You're cutting it way too fast that your body cannot handle it. So that's why we operate on those custom protocols in order to help you reach your ideal weight.
That's correct.
What's next?
The next one is, how is it administered?
So it's administered with one shot a week. It's one injection a week, and it's through an insulin needle, so it doesn't really hurt. It's subcutaneous, which is basically it goes through the dermis system, which is your skin, and that's what's gonna help you. And it just goes through your fat, and that's how it operates. And it goes through it has a shelf life of a week. Where you want to do the shot at is going to be 2 inches to the left or right away from your belly button. You just pinch your little fat and you go straight in 90 degrees, shoot the medication, throw it out, and get rid of it. Now, everybody I have met somebody that not unless they're used to taking that type of medication. Everybody fears that first shot, and I do not blame you because you're shooting something into your stomach. Now, with that being said, it's gonna be okay. It feels less than an antibite. It feels less than a bee sting. It feels like a small pinch, if that. How does that feel?
It does. You don't always feel it. I
Yeah.
felt some, and I believe it's just more because I psych myself out in my head. I think that was the first initial one. I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then I did it, and I didn't even feel it. It was, I believe the flu shot hurts 100 times worse than sometimes you don't even feel it.
Well, the flu shot should hurt more worse because it's intramuscular. That's why it hurts more. Sub-Q shots tend not to hurt that much, if at all. And when you go with us, I give you a video on how to draw your medication, how to mix the medication, and how to give yourself an injection, and tips to help you not feel anything or feel at least discomfort as possible. On top of that, we do have a support group on WhatsApp that we have a conversation on all the time. Any questions will be answered, and then we also give tips on the either daily or weekly basis, depends on how many people are joining at a time. What else we got?
One of the questions that many people want to know is it a drug?
Is it a drug? No. Well, we talked about that, right? So people call it medication. People call it drug. Even sometimes we call it medication, but realistically, what it is a peptide. And that's why I emphasized at the beginning, what are peptides? That's why I emphasized about the new administration coming in, because the RFK, he's taking over I don't have it off the top of my head what the department is called, but he's taking over all the health and that department in the government. And he's big on peptides because he takes it himself. And I don't know if you've seen that old man lift. He can't talk. He's always shaking, but he's still fit. And so if that doesn't tell you anything, and there'll be plenty of videos that you can YouTube, to include some that we might be posting soon, about the benefits of peptide, which basically help you live your best life for a longer period of time. Like I always tell people, look at me, I'm young. And I'm not. Like I'm getting closer to 40 than I am to 30, and I still look like a child. Peptides are the future. What's next?
So it says, does it have to be refrigerated? And this is a very important question.
Full disclosure, I know he listens to the show. A lot of them listen to the show, but yes, this medication, as soon as it's mixed, it must be stored in the refrigerator. Okay, it must be stored in the refrigerator. Now, people get confused when I tell them the day of the shot, you can draw the medication early and let it get to room temperature before you give yourself a shot, so you feel it a lot less. But the vial itself still has to be refrigerated, and that's where it should be stored. And I know you're gonna listen to the show, man. It has to be in the refrigerator. I don't. Again, we put in the instructions. I tell it to people all the time. Unfortunately, I can't just give you a free vial if you do not follow the instructions. I will guide you through the next process, the next buying, maybe get a discount, but it does have to be refrigerated. The vial does have to be refrigerated. Anything on that?
Yes. It just, like you said, it has to be refrigerated. I'm just in disbelief.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
it's something simple. It's like storing like anything else, and anything else like food, right? Like you know where to store it. It's the same thing when we tell you medication must be refrigerated. As a matter of fact, if I send it to you in the mail, it says right there, refrigerate me, please. So just things to consider. But all right, so we've been talking for uh, might be a little bit too long, almost close to an hour. Is there anything you want to say before we close out?
I just want to say thank you for having me. And if you guys have any questions, you guys, when he does polls, not me, when he does polls on the pages, and you're afraid to we don't show them to anybody. We don't show them to who they come from. We don't judge. I don't judge. I'm on the medication. Um, I no longer take it weekly. I'm at a weight where I'm okay, and I don't require it weekly anymore, to the point that hardly ever.
But just first of all, we got to give you your flowers, okay? Everybody that listens to the show constantly or that knows me enough knows my background is the military, and that's where my strong suit is. But she actually works with companies that sell these peptides, and I collaborated with a great company in order to help give y'all the best prices. So like, this information does not come from ignorance, it does not come from Google, it comes from a lot of experience. Okay, so I want to make sure that to put that out there. So give yourself some flowers, not just I'm just here, thank you for having me. No, I have to have you, I married you, right? So that is not an option. Okay, but thank you everybody for listening, and we're gonna close this out. And there you have it, folks. Latest episode of the Solutions Podcast. If you're interested in any of the peptides that we discussed through this episode, please reach out to us via DM and any of the social media pages. We got the Coaching Solutions on Instagram. You got the Solutions Podcast on Instagram. Facebook is there, but it's not really being used. TikTok, unfortunately, we lost access as of now, but hopefully we're going to restore it. And on YouTube, YouTube is going to be coming hard this year, so please reach out to us. Shout out to everybody that listened up, and shout out to one of the best guests I've ever had. Thank you, and we're out.